Hello everyone in YouTube land, it's your boy Tickle the Beagle back again with another shitty YouTube video. Today I am here with my friend Sage, and she is rating Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Say hi.
Hi.
Why do you sound depressed to be here?
I'm not.
Okay, but
I'm definitely not
basically,
being kept against my walls.
sorry, I couldn't hear you over all the muffles I put on your mouth anyway. They are an experienced, very good Magic the Gathering player, correct?
I mean, it's been a while since I played, but yeah.
Okay, they played Magic the Gathering once a long time ago, so I could put that in the title. Let's get into it. First card, go ahead. We have Pot of Greed. Draw 2 cards. So you think this is good or no?
Magic the Gathering, that would be a pretty good card to have in certain decks. I feel like it all depends on the deck that you're using.
Right. So, like, it's just drawing. Keep in mind, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, they don't have costs. You just play them. Just for free. We don't pay for our shit. This is communism. So, like, do you think this card is really good, really bad, middle ground? What do you think?
I feel like it's good, like, in between really good and, like, middle ground.
Okay. So that's your final answer?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, this card is literally fucking amazing. This is the most busted card in the entire fucking game. Keep in mind, unlike Magic the Gathering, we don't have colors or anything like that. This just can go in any fucking deck you want, and it's a free +1. And Yu-Gi-Oh, where you have 1-card combos, a +1 is pretty fucking good. This is purely one of the best card draw tools in the entire game, and honestly, the fact that he definitely looks like he gets mad head is a plus. Next card.
Oh yeah, you look glorious.
Alright, next card is Sea Monster of Theist. It is a zombie fusion
I see
tuner.
tentacles.
Yeah, tentacles, yes. We don't need to talk about those. I don't need to get demonetized yet. So its fusion materials are 2 tuners and all that. Do you know what any of that means?
Nope.
Okay, so fusion monsters, there's a card in the game called like polymerization, to where you take two or more monsters from your field in hand, equal to the fusion material cost on the fusion monster you wish to summon. You send them to the graveyard and take this out of your fusion deck. Think of it like any card that says, like, in Magic the Gathering there are cards that say grab a card from outside of the game. It's like that, basically. It's similar.
That's beautiful card.
Yeah, so it requires you to send 2 tuners away. Now, tuners, we don't need to get into it. Any tuner is just a card that says tuner on it, okay? But how good do you think this is? And I'm gonna give you the context for this afterwards because it's really funny.
Beautifully designed. Top tier.
Top tier. You think this is the best card in the game?
Yes.
This card is fucking horrible. You are 0 for 2. This card is absolutely fucking dog shit. Sending away 2 monsters for a singular monster with no effect that it's a tuner, yeah? It's a level 5 tuner, which is cool. But you probably could have used the tuners you already had for their purpose. Now, what makes this funny is that Konami, they did this on like a message form or something. They hyped this card up as the best card in the game that would ever come out, because they had a card called Instant Fusion coming out, which allows you to pay 1,000 life points and summon any level 5 or lower fusion monster just out of your deck into the field. But the thing is, instead of summoning a level 5 tuner, people would summon a level 4 monster that allowed you to put another monster on board, that allowed you to put another monster on board, that allowed you to put... You see the problem? This was like the worst possible thing you could be doing with Instant Fusion. Okay. But yeah, let's move on to the next card. Card Destruction. Both players discard as many cards as possible from their hands, then each player draws the same number of cards they discarded.
I think it's absolute crap.
You think it's absolute crap?
Yeah.
That's your final answer?
Yes.
That your final answer?
Yes.
Honestly, you're pretty right in that assumption. This card has been limited to 1 for what I can only be described as Konami's incompetence. This card is absolutely fucking terrible. The only deck it sees play in is Dark World. Dark World are cards that specifically, if they're discarded, they do something. So like, what if it's discarded, gets another card from your deck, like 2-2s it up. Another, if it's discarded, draws like a card or 2 cards. So with that deck, this thing's insane, but in every other deck, it is just fucking terrible. Because you gotta think, you play this so that you have one less card in your starting hand than your opponent now. So they're getting to draw 5, and then you're drawing 4. It's pretty fucking dog shit. So like, yeah, you're completely correct in that assumption. Yeah. Next up, we got Arc Nemesis Protos. This is
it looks beautiful.
It is beautiful, and now I will read it to you. Cannot be normal summoner set. That just means like a normal summoner set is like you get 1 normal summon a turn, which is just taking a monster from your hand, putting it onto the field. If it's level 4 or lower, you could do it for free. Level 5 or 6, tribute 1. Level 7 and above, tribute 3. Tribute just means send it from field to the graveyard. You get it?
Mm-hmm.
Must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing 3 monsters with different attributes from your graveyard. And the attribute is just that thing in the top right. So like this thing is dark attribute. From your graveyard and or face-up field. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. So that's like indestructible, is what that is. You could declare 1 monster attribute on the field, destroy all monsters on the field with that attribute. Also, until the end of your next turn, neither player can special summon monsters with that attribute. A special summon is any summon outside of your normal summon. You can only use this effect of Arc Nemesis Protos once per turn. How good do you think this is?
I think it's beautiful.
You think it's beautiful?
Yes.
Do you have
can you rate card right there?
Can you rate how good the card is? Please?
Not quite S, but I feel like it would be an A or A minus.
Alright. This card is Pot of Greed levels good. This card is only good, at least in my opinion, because there's decks like Sword Soul, which can grab it directly from your deck and put a bunch of attributes on board. And since Yu-Gi-Oh's a best of 3 game, in the first game he's not really as good, but in the second and third game your opponent knows what you're playing, so they just pick whichever attribute is most prominent in your deck, and your entire deck is dead. Like you lose automatically because of that. Like they lose 1 monster and you lose the game is what this reads. And its summoning requirement isn't actually that hard in stuff like Sword Soul, because every one of their monsters is a different attribute. In every other deck, this sucks, but it was so strong in Sword Soul, they had to fucking ban it. But yeah. Next card. Dark Lord Zerato. This is, I was about to say, I call him Daddy Lord Zerato. I have...
He can fix my issues.
No, you can't fix him, though. He's a corrupted Dark Lord.
Watch me.
You cannot fix it. Sage, stop. You cannot fix it.
Watch me.
You can't.
I can
Sage,
still fix it.
You could not fix him.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
I can.
No, you can't.
I promise you.
You can't. You cannot fix anyone.
Yes, I can.
Okay, let's read the card, please. If you have 4 or more dark monsters with different names in your graveyard, which dark is the attribute I mentioned earlier, so you have 4 or more of them with different names in your graveyard, you can tribute summon him by tributing 1 dark monster. He is level, what is it, 7? No, he's level 8, so he normally would require 2. So you could summon him with 1 less tribute. You could send a dark monster from your hand to the graveyard, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. During the end phase, if this card activates its effect, destroy this card. How good do you think this is?
It's a really good card.
It's a really good card?
Yeah.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
If I can, hold on, let me try to read this again. Alright, I'm gonna say that last 3 sentences is what is
Send a dark monster from your hand to the graveyard, destroy all monsters. So you think it's like really good because it's a board wipe, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this card has always been pretty fucking terrible. I mean, when it came out, it was decent. It came out like years ago. This was back when Yu-Gi-Oh! Like was still figuring out what archetypes were, type old. The idea was good. Except, like, nowadays, we have Raigeki, which does this for free and is unlimited. It just destroys all your opponent's monsters for free, completely.
I'm still sticking with what I said. I think it's a beautiful card because we have a card similar to that in MTG.
You only think it's beautiful because he's got abs. Stop.
No. Okay, maybe a little bit.
Okay, so you said you got a card similar to this in MTG?
Yes. I don't remember the name of it, but we have a card similar to that in MTG.
Thanks. Editing Tegan, please find it.
And board wipes are beautiful in MTG because
I feel like in MTG, once you wipe someone's board, it's more impactful because not every single creature has indestructible, which most creatures in Yu-Gi-Oh! Have indestructible, by the way. And also, what's it called? Because we have a card in Raigeki, I've said this multiple times now, but you get the idea, that does this for free, a card that has a very specific summoning requirement, that requires you to already have board presence, and also requires you to send a card from your hand to the graveyard, so you have to have hand presence to do a board wipe that goes away at the end of the turn. This is like, at best. As well as, there are cards like this in stuff like, what's it called? Dark Armed Dragon, which is infinitely better, because it requires you to have less dark monsters in your graveyard, and they don't have to have different names. And also, you just special summon it without tripling it, and also you can banish a selective monster, which is usually better than what Zerato does. Because the thing with Zerato is, to make the most of his effect, you need to be behind, but to have a monster at board, you need to be slightly ahead. It makes no sense. And now, for a last card we're doing. Yeah. Last card is Morphing Jar Flip, which means it goes from face down defense position to face up. Think of it like a card morphing itself in MTG. A flip, both players discard as many cards as possible from their hand, then each player draws 5 cards.
Such a beautiful smile, my dude.
In the fucking anime, he comes out of that jar and he's like a little fucking, like, worm with just that face and eye on it. He's just a fucking worm in a jar.
That's such a beautiful smile.
It's more yellow than my piss. What are you talking about?
He's so happy.
He is. He's happy to fuck your head in the ass. So, do you think he's good or no?
I mean, you draw an equal amount of cards, but you discard as many cards as possible from there.
I also will mention that when you set a monster for it to flip itself, you use your normal summon for that turn. There are not many ways to special summon a monster in face down defense position, and most of them are terrible.
I'm gonna give it a meh.
Meh? You think it's a meh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. This card is absolute garbage. First of all, wasting your normal summon, which a lot of decks use their normal summon for really big plays. Like, a normal summon to get a tutor is very normal. So instead you're just normal summoning to set a card and pass. That's not really worth. As well as...
yeah.
They have to flip it up, so your opponent has to tack into it. It has to fold over, and your opponent has to not negate it, which is very common in Yu-Gi-Oh! Not destroy it before it flips over, which is very common in Yu-Gi-Oh! And also, this implies that their hand wasn't already empty from setting up their field. So often, this is absolute garbage. Alright. Now hold on, I'm just gonna add a card real quick, because this is way too short. Alright, also I lied. I just definitely did not go and grab more because this video's too short, but next card is Fiber Jar, another of the Jar series.
This card pretty much just says that you ate a bunch of fiber and then put it in a jar.
No, it's supposed to be a tree. It's like a world tree.
So someone ate a bunch of fruits and put it in a jar.
Yeah, yes. Look at the card art, and that's totally what that is. Yeah, Fiber Jar. Okay. Flip, it's another flip monster. Each player shuffles all cards from their hand, field, and graveyard into the deck, then draws 5 cards. So this literally restarts the game. This restarts the entire game if it goes off.
Beautiful.
Think it's beautiful? You think it's amazing?
Yes.
It's amazingly annoying. It's been banned, not out of being too good, but because if this gets flipped on you and you don't respond, like with a negation, you literally have to start the whole fucking game over again, and then this goes back into the deck so they can do it again and again and again and again. It's just so fucking annoying. It is not good, but if you play this, I hope you get cancer. Anyways, next card. Cyber Jar.
If we were to play that game in Magic the Gathering, oh my god. The games already last for like hours.
Literally. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh games actually go faster, so this making them like Magic the Gathering length is annoying. We then have Cyber Jar. One more flip monster. Destroy all monsters on the field. Then both players reveal the top 5 cards of their decks and special summon all revealed level 4 or lower monsters in face-up attack position or face-down defense position, and add any remaining cards to their hand. If either player has less than 5 cards of their deck, reveal as many as possible.
It's in middle.
You say middle?
It is middle ground, yeah.
You are completely right on this. This card is, in competitive, absolutely garbage, terrible, disturbingly bad. However, in casual, this card just reads, let's gamble. You basically, like, both players look at the top 5 cards of their deck, any spell traps go into their hand and any level 4 or lowers just go into the field for you. So, like, if your opponent hits this and it goes to the grave, you're wiping the board and then starting over. So if your opponent hits better than you, this is terrible. But if your opponent hits higher than you, or, like, if you hit higher than your opponent, it's amazing. And the thing about this card, it was banned for a really long time because of how good it was when it came out. Like, this was back when Raigeki was banned, so board wipes were hard to come by. But yeah, I think that's good enough for a video, so thank you for coming by. I will not be contacting you for the next 3 years until I need something.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Okay, thank you guys for watching as well. Make sure to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button like Sage wants to smash Dark Daddy Zerato, and I hope to see you all later. Bye.
I don't get what I want, I get what I need. Every single day I'm heading off to my dream, and I get everything that I damn well please. I don't give a damn if you all listening to me, cause I run it. I'm the only one that really want it, I'm the only one that's really on it. I'm just being honest, I'm just doing everything I promise, cause I want it bad enough that I'ma make it as an artist.